Brawl Stars app logo tier list. Did you know absolute legends, freaks of nature's good-looking, peak specimen human beings are subscribed to the Brawl Stars channel? You could be all of that today just by hitting one single button. Thank you guys, absolute legends. So one thing in particular that I've been absolutely in love with, infatuated with about Brawl Stars recently is the brand new app logos that match the vibe of a update that comes out. And we have the goated Gonzalo to thank for that, which I had the honor to meet in person. Such a beast and talented individual. If it wasn't for him, I don't think we'd be having these sick app icons. So of course, seeing that we've had a few different variations now, we're going to be getting into a tier list of all the ones that we have up until this point based on a few things. Number one, of course, appearance, how much I enjoy the colors, the vibe, the artistic impressions, dude. And number two, the significance of the update I think is pretty dang important, basically what the app represented. But starting off with the bread and butter, the traditional Brawl Stars app logo. You could make arguments there has been an earlier version of the app logo, the oldest logo in the game, but I thought we'd keep it consistent here, seeing that that was beta. So going with the OG, an iconic logo. You think of this, you think of all the fun that you have in Brawl Stars every single day. I gotta go with the S, dude. Now you guys might think the generic logo being at S might be a little bit overboard, but you guys gotta realize how artistic and unique the Brawl Stars app is. There's not many apps that look like it. It kind of carved out its own unique style, which I absolutely adore, to the point where there are people copying this type of vibe here out in the gaming sphere. It's iconic, it's beautiful, and pretty much every other app logo is based off it. So I mean, come on, with a strong foundation, you get strong stuff like this too. But getting into our next one here, and this one kind of is a curveball for me because out of all of these, it is the only one that I don't remember seeing in person, to the point where I thought this was fake for a really long time. And you know what? It still might be, because I physically don't remember interacting with this app icon here. Now, I don't want to say it's fake, but it's just odd. I can't remember it, but we have prior existences of this app popping up in social media, as much like Reddit here. A post 4 years ago for the 2019 Brawloween update. Maybe it was only on Android devices. So going off of that, we have to assume it was a thing, and I'm sure some of you guys can confirm that in the comments down below. But as you can see, it is definitely the very first example of a huge change to the already existing Brawl Stars logo here. They're the same exact coloring, just minor tweaks here. Maybe they discovered something in this app logo, like maybe people didn't identify it as Brawl Stars, so they were nervous to then stray away from the already existing gold and yellow colors that people can kind of correlate that to. So seeing that it's such a daring attempt, and of course my favorite color is purple, and the Brawloween 2019 update was such a great update. We got M's, we were introduced to the Mortis's mortuary theme environment, which is one of my personal favorites. It was an amazing update overall, and I love the boldness of the app logo. I'm gonna give it an A. But then we have the third change to the app logo coming out that same year in December of 2019, a Brawladays update. Now going straight up based off the artwork, you can tell it didn't take a whole lot of effort to whip this bad boy up. I feel like I could make something like that if the Brawl Stars dev team asked me to make a pirate themed logo. So I'm not necessarily jumping out of my chair for that, but I do have to say the Brawladays update for 2019 was a banger. It was one of the very first examples of us getting two brawlers in one update, and people were immensely hyped. It was when we got B and Max, two amazing brawlers. Plus, in the update, we were getting some more daring things being implemented, much like new game modes. But even with such an amazing update at the time, at least, I mean, nowadays we get two brawlers like it's nothing. But I gotta say, for some reason, this one doesn't hit hard for me. Maybe it's the simplicity. Maybe it's kind of disappointing that they went to such a minor change compared to the very first change of the app logo. It makes sense. They want people to recognize that it's still Brawl Stars, but because of that, I'm gonna give it a C. It's just, you know, an app logo. Oh, ho, ho, baby. We're getting into a goated one here, people. The Star Park app logo first changed in the Star Park gift shop environment. This app logo, my goodness, has a lot of history and a lot of weight behind it. This app logo doesn't just represent one singular update, which all of the other apps do here. For one, it was present during multiple updates here in Brawl Stars for the Colette, the Amber update, while at the same time it represented more than just a theme coming to the game. It represented Star Park, the Brawl Stars dev team delving into for the very first time this crazy expansive universe and lore behind Brawl Stars. This thing is goated, no question. You guys know we're putting this in the S. I know it's pretty much so, just as simple as the pirate one, but it's iconic and it represents so much more than just a simple theme. It's Star Park, dude. S all day. Now, the wild thing here as we are getting deeper and deeper into this list is we went on quite the hefty dry streak of logo changes in Brawl Stars. It might have been due to the Star Park app popping up more often than any other, but whereas the most recent one here on the list itself was in 2020, we would then fast forward to 2022 until we got our next one just 11 months ago in the 2022 Brawloween update when we got Buster. I got a lot to say about this icon here, and I gotta be honest with you, my opinions have changed quite drastically here while thinking about its significance. So you could argue it's one of the most daring app changes out of the entire cast here. It has the traditional colors, so you still got that going for it, but it's the very first example of straying away from that circular skull icon. You could also make that argument for the smiley face because it's not necessarily a skull, but this one is way different. Honestly, I wanted to put it a bit higher than where I'm going to put it here, but the only thing that's holding it back for me is the fact that it came out during an update that was kind of good, kind of bad. At a time in Brawl Stars where people were kind of burnt out with how it was at the time. We just kind of came off of a power level 11 update a few updates ago. Gears were still kind of rough at the time when we got this Brawl Talk, but we were notified in that Brawl Talk that they would get the significant change, the change to the gears where they are currently at in its state in today's Brawl Stars. So it was a phenomenal change to the gears, and I think made power level 11 a bit better. But even so, I feel like it still represents that power level 11, you know, that kind of rough mistake that the dev team made. To this day, stated by Frank in a recent podcast, they're still not super comfortable with power level 11 and what it gives you. So because of everything, I'm going to be putting it in the C tier. I think I would put it in B if it wasn't at a time where Brawl Stars was kind of in a rough spot. But I will say I do like the logo better than this one, so we're putting it at the top of C. You gotta admit, this was one of the most impactful updates in quite some time, and a lot of effort was put into it. My goodness, we had 3 brawlers released in this single update. A lot of fond memories. I really enjoy the update theme of this update. The Candyland environment is amazing. It's the very first time we go above Star Park into the clouds, meeting one of the most unique environments in the history of Brawl Stars that is one of my favorites to this day, while at the same time, it's taking another really daring change to its app icon. We still got the skull, but it's the very first time we're introducing kind of interesting colors for a very long time, right? We're getting a little bit of pink in there, a little bit of off-tone golds, straying away from the traditional golden app icon that we're used to here. It's so dang good, and I think this is when they really started to become incredibly creative with the app logos that would then come. So given the significance of the update and the creativity that came with it, I'm gonna give it an A here. I think the art is really good, and I think the update was really good as well, but you have to say that some people didn't necessarily love boxes being removed, and I don't think it's like the most crazy changes to the app icon. We're just kind of messing with colors. But then moving along to the mystery at the hub, season 17 app icon. I think it represents the season really well, right? It's this kind of black and white oldies mystery vibe here where a lot of really awesome skins came to the game. The story, the mysteries going on in the background was incredibly fun, and just the vibes overall of the update itself was awesome. Masteries were introduced in this update, which was insane. 2 new brawlers. It was a pretty hefty update. And this one is incredibly simple. We have the gray and the yellow or gold in the middle here. Nothing crazy. I would even say this one was even crazier colorful wise. So I think I'm confident in putting this at the B tier. But as we are nearing the somewhat end of this list, we make our way to update season 18, Rumble in the Jungle. This update was really awesome as well. We ended up getting bling, the very first time in Brawl Stars history where free-to-play players can mess around with purchasing cosmetics, which is cool. While at the same time, I really do like the vibes of the environment. We kind of returned to an already existing theme, the Aztec, a theme that we had in the game where Bo resided and Nita. And I really like that callback, returning to a theme that we had in the game, but not necessarily flushed out all the way. And let's be honest here, update aside, the artwork of this logo is phenomenal. My favorite so far on this list to this point. But truly, the kind of daring changes that were made in this, where we're getting some leaves on the border of it and the colors representing the theme is so dang good of season 18. I have to put this at the S tier, man. It is so good. Honestly, it's getting a bit more tricky if you ask me. We are making our way to season 19. The Enchanted Woods. Personally, one of my favorite update themes in a really long time. I really enjoy the aspect of the theme itself, this like mystical, mysterious land where skins that we already know are changing into these like foreign creatures. It's like a fairy tale. It's super cool, and the app logo mimics that vibe so dang well. Coming off of the season 18 app logo, you can tell that they are going with those more dramatic changes to the logo itself, not just messing with colors or anything like that, but actually adding elements of the theme itself into the logo. And these colors are beautiful. I love the glow. I love a lot about it. Now, in terms of the update itself, when we take a look at the Candyland update, we had a big shift in the trajectory of Brawl Stars. Brawl boxes are no longer there, and each update would implement after that something significant to the game that would kind of go off of that effort-based version of Brawl Stars. You put in the work, you can get what you want. We then take a look at the mystery at the hub, which introduced masteries, probably one of my favorite changes for this more effort-based Brawl Stars here. Then we have the Rumble at the Jungle, bling, each one of them adding something crazy significant to add to the newer version of Brawl Stars and how we go about the game itself. Whereas in this one, it was star drops. I do enjoy star drops. It was kind of marketed as a supplement to Brawl boxes, but let's be honest, they're not Brawl boxes, right? I feel like a lot of us know the memes that come from star drops, always getting rares. When you get a legendary, you sometimes get just a pin. I don't think star drops hit as hard as bling or masteries for me. I think I'm comfortable putting the app in an A. I do like the artwork, but I don't think it's at that tier for me as season 18, and I don't think the update itself was as good as season 18 for me, at least. So very comfortable in the A. But then the final one here, season 20's app logo. I love this one. My favorite color in this entire world is purple. I don't know if you guys know that, but it is. And I love the theme that it executes perfectly, with hypercharges being the main allure of season 20. However, again, if we're going off of what we've been seeing here, where the main update is introducing another feature to this newer version of Brawl Stars, masteries, bling, star drops. This one was hypercharge, and I don't know if the community is like crazy about hypercharges just yet. I feel like they're a bit polarizing at the minute, but they have the potential, when flushed out and more enter the game, to I think being a very significant implementation and a fun one in the future. But seeing that it's not like crazy or anything like that, like masteries or anything like that, I think I'm going to be putting it in the B tier, where this is carrying this logo here. The Masteries is carrying it in the B tier. The artwork here for Season 20's app is carrying it in the B tier. If it was off the artwork alone, I'd put it in like the A, maybe consider the S, but I also want to take into account what the actual update accounted for. But there you have it, everybody. What do you think of my tier list of the app logos ranked on looks and significance? I think we're pretty dang close. Nothing in the D tier. Nothing was like, hey, I hate it. But a fine spread, I would say. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this episode here today. I've been meaning to do this for quite some time. Maybe we'll be able to revisit this tier list in the future once we get more apps, and maybe if my impressions of previous updates changed, things might shift around a little bit. You never know. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!